Hello.
I think we're good to go. Let's put the toys away. You put that, I don't know if that's a strap-on or a butt plug or what you have there, Ginger.
What? Look, you didn't complain about it last night. I don't see why you complain about it tonight.
He got his grandmother's ashes in a dildo.
Oh, that's what that is.
Best way to remember her. She's forever with me and inside of me.
Deflate dick.
Deflate dick. What happens after 20 years of Viagra taking?
Oh, God.
I love how the diabetic always brings like a 2 liter of soda and he just...
It's diet. You know, with my bag of Reese's. There is no family size, only me size.
Except for bacon especially. They only come in one serving. I bought a pallet full, and there's only the me size. I can't share with anybody.
No, it's mine. You want bacon, go get your own.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. I usually will like stab somebody and then like rob their house and like go Ferguson in their neighborhood.
Well, you know, that's the way it goes.
See, let's go Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore's a little more rowdy, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of like the new thing to do. I mean, I would go postal, you know, but
that's old.
That's like, yeah, it's a little outdated.
So always go full Baltimore. Is that what I'm getting?
Always go full Baltimore. There's also something more heinous
This
comes
T-shirt design number 5.
It could have been like go full Columbine, you know, back in the day.
Well, yeah, back in the day
Go
that
full
would
Sandy
work.
Hook.
Yeah.
Yep, those are
You know,
old
every
ones,
year
though.
you get something new.
I actually drove by Sandy Hook like last year when I was visiting Elisa.
That's where I drove by. Actually, I stopped there when I was dating Psycho Twat up in New York.
Oh, so you went that path. Because
Yeah.
Elisa lives in Bristol. And we went to see Boba Flex like an hour away. And that was...
Toast place?
No, it was almost in New York. I don't remember. It was literally like this kid's like place. I'm not even kidding. That happened to have a stage. And local bands played. And Boba Flex just showed up.
So it was like a Chuck E. Cheese with like Boba Flex.
But it was in like a warehouse. Imagine Chuck E. Cheese in a warehouse with a stage. That's basically where they played.
The fuck am I tasting?
So like Chuck E.'s homicidal kids raping barn
Yeah, with Boba Flex.
with Boba Flex.
Are we recording?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going.
So let's start the show.
Let's go.
Hi, everyone.
How we doing?
This is the MercGoat Conspiracy and 10 minutes of babble that you just listened to. Today we're going to have some fun. We're going to make you think.
You know, I was always wondering, if I'm naked and no one's around to see it, am I really naked?
I'm pretty sure you are.
But no one can see that I'm naked, so for all they know, I'm still clothed.
Well,
It's like Schrodinger's cat.
Well, no, there's always a camera somewhere.
Not in my house.
Not in your house.
No.
That you know of.
Oh, I make sure.
You don't know what your
I go Tony
ex-girlfriend's
Stark in
doing.
that thing.
Get out all the gadgets and just sweep the whole house. Make sure
Exactly.
everything's good. All right.
So like if I'm imagining you naked,
Yes.
but you're not actually naked, but nobody's there to see me imagine you naked, are you really naked?
That's what I'm saying. It's a Schrodinger's cat thing. If I put the cat in the box, is it dead or alive?
Well,
Are there
depends
holes
on
in the
how long
box?
he's in the box.
Did you give him the plague? Like, does he? I don't know. Did you fuck him before you put him in there? Like,
No, I gave him
I
a
have a
death,
friend who used to do that.
gave him a death ray. That's what the thing is. You put a cat in a box with a death ray that has a 50-50 chance if it's going to survive. Because apparently, I guess a cat's going to learn how to figure out how to use a death ray and kill itself. I don't know.
But why is it 50-50? Wouldn't it be like 595?
Well, it's
No.
50-50 because,
You know-
either it's pointed at the cat because it's going to play with it, or it's pointed at you.
Yeah. So one of the two is dead.
So, what if like?
It's the new
There's a
Russian roulette.
Yeah, but what if there's a third person in the room?
There was never a third person in the room.
So there's never a witness. Is that what you're telling
It's
me?
not how you play the game. It's always best to figure out,
So am I naked or not? That's what I just want to know.
I'll say yeah.
Okay.
If you're self-aware that you're naked, you're probably naked.
But, trees aren't self-aware that they made a sound. So did they make a sound?
It's like John Locke once said. I think. Is it John Locke? I think, therefore I am.
Yeah, I try not to.
There's probably some microorganism that can see you naked and is self-aware that you are naked.
I'm
Even
a
if
cat.
it's on your skin.
You're the
Even if
pedophile
it's on your
nanobots in your pants when you were like 12.
Again?
This is going nowhere.
So, let's talk about the beer we're drinking since
I still have no idea.
we still have no idea and we're still trying to figure out whether Ginger is naked or not.
We'll find out after the show.
We will. We are drinking Wells Sticky Toffee Pudding Ale. This is something you definitely would like lure children into your van with. Just the sound of it.
It's different. It's definitely different.
I'm gonna drink this whole bottle and still not know if I like it or not.
Like, I taste the toffee and I taste the pudding, but I don't know what the sticky is.
It's probably if you actually spill it on yourself, it'd be all sticky.
My laptop, you mean?
Oh, yep.
You spill a little bit on your crotch, you have your girlfriend suck it off. It's a great night.
Oh, it is a product of the United Kingdom.
It's not only a beer, it's an aphrodisiac.
It's got Spanish fly in here.
Oh, yeah.
It's excellent.
They also make banana bread beer, according to the box that we're looking at right now.
What else do they make?
What's
Just says banana bread beer.
They probably have rapist beer, child diddler beer. They probably got them all.
They probably got them all.
So, the toffee pudding ale, I think we're kind of like, we don't know, because it is kind of hoppy, but it does taste like toffee pudding, which is delicious.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a solid qua on this. I really got nothing.
I like it. I don't think I could drink it every day. It's very unique, though.
Yeah, I don't think, as I said, I'm not a big hoppy person, but definitely a sweet taste to it. I think the hoppiness takes over it. Ginger, how do you like it?
What? You asking the one guy who's not drinking the beer?
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah, I'm good.
We'll get you some dish soap after. It's okay.
Not this time, Satan.
Well, we all recommend that you try it. It's a little pricey, but if you get a chance, go for it. That's going to lead us into our Ingress hardcore
The Ingress hardcore moment for this evening was actually brought to you by MercGoat.
I actually got that. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
This is toffee. It's on my tongue. And
It's all over your face.
It's the sticky toffee.
It's all over my face. I'm not used to sticky shit on my face. Unlike
well.
Sam might be.
I mean, he usually gets it stuck in his beard and then he just shaves it off.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a little more stuck to his face.
Flavor saver until you get sick of it.
Summer, please tell us about our Ingress moment.
Well, me and Zorn and another friend Joe were all playing Ingress. We were in South Kingstown at the time, and we were off on the side of the road minding our own business when a cop decides to pull up on us, as they normally do, because it's late at night and they like to know everything that's going on about everything at that time of night.
Yep.
Welcome to SK.
Cop gets out. He's actually pretty cool, and he's asking about the game, and he's laughing his ass off as we tell him about it. That's a 4.
I did better yesterday.
Yes, you did.
Go on.
No, you interrupted me. Is there something else you wanted to say? You sure you're done?
Give me a minute.
No.
I'm still not sure if I'm naked or not.
So he's asking us about the game, what you do in it. We explained to him, and he's laughing the whole time. This cop just clearly doesn't give a shit. So it's one of the good ones. So I decide to be cocky, and I tell the cop to play the game for a second. To destroy stuff in the game, you fire XMPs, obviously. I have the cop, I hand him my phone, I go, fire an XMP. And he doesn't even think about it, hits the button, and he helped us take down a portal. So a cop has officially played Ingress on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
No one else can say that. No one else is cocky enough to threaten a cop to play a game. Yet.
I had a cop play Russian roulette with me. Does that count?
Were you using a semi-automatic and you went first?
No.
I had a cop play Who's in My Mouth, and she won. Or I won? I don't know. I had something in my mouth. And it was only a female cop.
You had something in your mouth?
Yeah,
Oh.
it was a female cop.
Tell us
Sure.
more.
But it was in Thailand, so
Oh.
God, that kind of says
Was it in Bangkok?
Yes, it was in Bangkok. Right up Shit Creek, my friend.
Speaking of
Fantastic.
shit, do you really hate somebody? Do you really want to show them how much you hate them? There's a company for that. It's called Shit Express. Do you want to send someone horse shit? Well, this company allows you to do just that very thing.
Now, what if I want to send my own shit in a package to somebody? What if I wonder, like...
Well, I'm pretty sure if you want to pop a squat in a box and just send it on off.
I'm not saying you couldn't, but this is about being secretive about it. If you want to shit in a box, that's your own gift to them. That's a little special. Eat a lot of corn first, you know. Give them a little something to munch on.
Some peanuts.
But if you want anonymous horse shit to go to the house decorated with shitloads of smiley faces all over the box, so it seems like a harmless, innocent gift, Shit Express is the way to go.
Pop a squat in the box. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss. Like,
That's going to be their new slogan. Shit Express, pop a squat in a box. Right now they're doing horse shit, but supposedly they're going to do other animal shit soon.
guano. I hope they do guano.
Ah,
That's
that
just
shit.
makeup.
Jim Carrey might like that too much.
No, he doesn't. Jim Carrey does not like bats.
Oh, that's right.
Chicago.
Chicago.
Bumblebee tuna.
Bumblebee tuna?
Bumblebee tuna.
Excuse me, sir. Your balls are showing.
That was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Mm.
You remember the Monster Truck?
I can
Yeah.
make you
My
a
dad
miserable
even-
man. No thanks, and I'm looking to get married.
Oh, thanks for interrupting me. Thank you.
problem.
Thank you.
That's what we do all the time.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We excel at this.
Oh, yeah, we are, definitely. Anyway, my father actually painted that monster truck as a model for me when I was little because I liked that movie so much with like all the zebra stripes and shit.
Nice.
That was like a 3.
I know. I'm getting a little bit lower.
Why don't you improve?
Drink more beer.
Like more. Not
But
like
if
I
shit is not what you want to send them, there's also gummy dicks. You can send them a bag of dicks and tell them to eat a bag of dicks.
Or you can just go to Spencer's at this point and just buy stuff like that. Because I feel like you're just going towards Spencer's route.
I mean, if you're going to do gummy dicks, that just seems unproductive because now they get free candy.
That's what I was thinking.
Why don't you just take a dump in a box, sprinkle it with gummy dicks, and then you can,
Papa Squat
The
in the box
2
with
for
gummy
1.
dicks.
Yep.
You get 2 for 1.
Papa Squat in the box with gummy dicks.
Yep. Make sure to, layer it too so they can have their nice burger.
It'll be like that was it when you take like the gummy worms and you put it in like a bunch of like pudding and it, wow, my aunt makes it during like family events. I don't know what it's called. It's
Well-
like, yeah,
Awesome.
some dicks.
We'll continue with the shit theme because apparently today's theme is shit
And Ginger being naked.
and Ginger being naked.
Probably
Probably
more than
shitting with fucking Spanky watching.
Spanky's dead. We went over this.
Yeah, Spanky is dead, but I have a plan. Go on.
You were thinking that same plan?
Wait, was I not in on the telepathical plan thinking part?
Oh, we just gotta find
Your
the
plans?
necromancer. It'll be fine. Moving on.
Nickelback has their own shitty viral video now. I'm
I
sure.
think any music video is a shitty viral by.
Oh, yeah.
I think any shitty video by Nickelback is a horrible one.
Well, any video from Nickelback sucks and is shit, as you know.
Ginger saw Nickelback's name the first time, like when he was little, and he's like, "Oh, that looks like shit." Didn't even need to know what they were about. That looks like shit. And that was it.
I remember the first time I heard them and just not liking it.
Look at this graph.
So, if you haven't seen it, basically they have the beginning of the awful song Photograph, and they edit it so it looks like the singer is saying, "Look at this graph, look at this ass, look at
These nuts."
these nuts." And they always
Giraffe.
pause his face with this stupid expression on
A
it.
smile.
It looks like he's missing like his top teeth. Like,
Well, I'd smile like that too if I want to creep out everybody.
look at this giraffe.
And it's just amazing what can come viral, because that video must be, 10 years old probably? Maybe even more?
Yeah, I was.
And
in
all of a sudden it
middle
happens
school.
now?
I was
Yeah.
in middle school when that fucking song came out,
Yep.
and they still play it.
It's just amazing what becomes viral, and what it takes to just get huge.
It's funny you mention that because yesterday, May 11th in 2005, the Leroy Jenkins video turned 10 years old.
That,
viral-
that video
my
was 2000. That was 10 years old?
A viral video 10 years old. We're hitting that point where stuff on the internet that's gone viral is like 10, 15, 20. I remember when
That makes me feel old.
I remember that came out.
Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins!
That's when I was still trying
God
speed
damn it,
sex.
Leroy! What the hell? Hey, I got
trying
chicken.
what?
I was trying speed sex.
What's that?
Speed sex. Well, you see, when we used to have a ex-fiance, and the two of us would go raiding in World of Warcraft, and we would see how quickly that we could end with the sex, so we could get back to raiding. Every time that we beat our previous time, we would give each other a high five and go back. That was not my best moment. of my
I'm
life.
gonna leave that alone because I could pick you apart piece by piece
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
sure anybody could. I'm sure our 5 listeners could do too.
That relationship must
There you
have
go.
been-
If you're listening, send a nasty video or photo. Actually, nasty video, that sounds weird. No, don't do that. I don't want to
Yes,
see...
Keep
send
their videos clean.
I've already seen Ginger naked. I don't need to see the rest of you naked.
You want to see my
Why not?
balls?
I'm so glad I'm blind right now.
I still can't figure out if he's naked.
It's the table.
You got
Oh.
a table? Damn it, James Hetfield, get out of here.
Well, speaking of, since Zorn brought it up, poor relationship decisions.
Poor relationship or poor? I couldn't tell.
Poor.
Poor, not whore. Okay, continue.
Porn
Although,
relationships?
I've
poor,
had some
I mean,
horror
although
relationships.
poor relationship and whore relationship aren't that different off.
Well, what about porn relationships?
I've never had one of those.
I could date a porn star. I just haven't.
I don't know if I could.
I've dated a stripper.
See, that's even pushing for me. Like, I know you got someone's dick in your mouth earlier today, and that just kind of.
So I was working with Big Bill, the big black guy. Oh, I'm just not gonna be able to shit right for the next week, but I'll be okay. Like, is that the stuff you talk about at a dinner table? Like, what's going on?
Well, anyway.
You enjoy that he's bigger than me?
So anyway,
Wow.
moving on.
So, Ginger decided to share this photo of all these really, really poor decisions of really, really stupid men that have done really stupid things when they could have got laid. Ginger, why don't you share your favorite from that list?
My favorite from that
Or
list?
favorite one or two.
I mean, the favorite one I do like telling is what this girl texts this kid. She's like, hey, my parents aren't home, and this zipper to my skirt is stuck. Can you come over and help take it off for me? Now, if I was that kid, I would be the Flash. Like, the moment she hung up that phone, I'd be behind her like, here I am.
She'd be naked.
Yes.
There'd be more than the skirt coming off.
So,
But
you continue. I get something.
But what he did instead was call the girl, tell her how to get it off by herself, and proceeded to get mad at her because she couldn't find the pliers in her dad's toolbox.
I have a similar story to something like that.
I want to
I'm
punch
sure
that
they're
guy.
mostly like your stories.
Well, that one's very similar. So, my ex-girlfriend from a couple years ago, which Merc knows, Zoran you never met, Ginger, did you ever meet Marissa?
Yeah,
Not the one that you met like a month ago, weeks ago.
like
The
when
one
we're
from the
playing
couple-
werewolf and whatnot.
Yeah, she came over for werewolf
Yeah.
once.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, before we started dating, it was that summer that it was really, really hot and humid.
Just
like
the
this
details. We don't need the. Oh, actually, yeah, we do need it for this one.
So, we're kind of just on the couch, just not really messing around, making out, watching TV. And it was that really hot, muggy summer. It was not even July yet. And she looks at me and she goes, if you get too hot, you can take all your clothes off. Now me, a couple years ago when she told me this,
You do the same thing today, so don't try to make excuses.
we talking about today?
I'm saying if a girl said that today, you would still do the
Oh, I
same
thought you were
thing.
saying it happened today.
No.
Oh, so when she had asked me to take my clothes off, I looked at her. I didn't say this. I'm thinking to myself, did I say this? I don't remember. This was a couple years ago. But I remember going, if it's this hot out, why do all of my clothes have to come off? I can just take my shirt off. Then I'll be fine. I don't need to take my clothes off. We're in your parlor right now watching TV. Dead serious has happened. So it was after we broke up where she goes, yeah, remember that day? Yeah, I remember that day. I was trying to sleep with you. Huh. Oh, that makes sense now.
And his dick hasn't stopped touching his hand ever since.
I have this urge to just backhand you.
Oh, it gets better. You want to hear about the
It gets
girl?
better?
You hear about the girl that I'm talking to right now?
I remember you said that you were talking to a girl right now. Please tell me more.
Okay, so this girl I'm talking to, and if you're listening, your name is Marissa as well. And they're both from the same city. It's kind of creepy. It's not the same girl, though.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Does she know the transform jutsu?
I don't know.
Okay.
She might know if John's naked, though.
If you're listening, is John naked? Text 1 for yes, 2 for no.
So what number?
To Sam's phone, clearly.
So, or you just put it on the Facebook page when we're done, and you hear this in 3 weeks. But anywho,
Yeah, that goes to all our listeners. If you think I'm naked right now, under the video response, press 1. If you think I'm not naked, press 2.
Just so all of you know, I'm hoping that it's 2.
I'm hoping for 3, I don't know why.
3? 3?
If you want Brian to say cha-cha-cha and dance with bananas on his head, press 3.
Who's Brian?
It's from Family Guy.
Oh, right.
If you want to see the SLB make more mistakes with women, press 5.
Oh, everybody's gonna press
Well, that's
Yeah,
gonna
press
happen
it.
anyway.
We don't have to press a number for that. Just gotta watch you
All
every
right,
day.
come on, SLB, tell us more.
So, this girl I'm currently talking to, so we went out one day where my mom almost infiltrated. She found out I was at the Panera Bread, and she was coming to pick up a tax from I'd gotten for her. She almost infiltrated this date. But good thing I had to leave early for work. So second date, she comes over to my house. We're hanging out, we're talking this and that. My mother ends up staying home, so she meets my mother, which is good. My mother liked her. And at the end of the night, I walk her out to her car, give her a hug, and we're talking. We start doing the mumbly thing, and she's staring at me. And she's staring at me, making me eye contact. And I'm kind of like making small talk, and I'm staring at her. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, I said bye. She's staring at me. What does she want? Why is she staring at me?
She wants a kiss.
It took me 2 minutes to realize that, Ginger. It took me 2 minutes! And I was like, what does this girl want? She's glaring at me. What the fuck? Do I walk away? Do I say something else? Like, what do I do?
You give her a nice firm handshake and then you walk away. Nice meeting you.
So, please tell us and all of our listeners, what did you do?
It took me 2 minutes and I go, you want a kiss? I didn't actually do that because then I'd be look stupid.
I'm pretty sure
I could see you doing that for some reason, though.
He was sitting there like, wait a minute, you want a kiss?
And then I look like Jim Carrey and was it Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
He's like trying to suck the life out of the woman.
Look like those kissing things are trying to battle, like, eat each other. Like,
It's like the Stanley Cup playoffs. Game 7. Yeah, so then I told her that a couple weeks later. And she laughed and she thought it was funny. And then I told her the first story. And she goes, wow, you really are blind when it comes to reading us. I go, yeah. Mike, if you were to put Stevie Wonder... Okay, Stevie Wonder's a great songwriter. He knows how to melt the hearts of women.
He's dead now. Ray
No.
Charles killed him.
Well, Stevie Wonder used to be able to melt the hearts of women. However, if you were to put Stevie Wonder on 95 North going into Providence on a Saturday morning at 9 a.m., oh, he'd be helpless. Because he can't see, and I bet you he can't drive because he can't see.
But he'd still do better than you with the women.
Still a better love story than Twilight.
Now,
Wow, I thought that I was blind when it came to women for myself. I mean, I could tell anybody else what their woman wants them to do, and vice versa.
Basically, Sam, you have fucked up.
I've done fucked.
John, do you have any stories like that?
No.
I don't really either. So we're going to move on.
Moving on.
Let's say you did find someone you liked, and you got along, and you didn't fuck up like SLB or Zorn. What if they died? What if you missed them, and they were your one true love?
We're not talking about the dildo this time.
And we're not talking about the dildo
Well,
this
you know
time.
what they like to say in beer commercials? Nothing like cracking open a cold one.
Nope.
Oh, God.
However, a company has developed a... Excuse me. A company has developed a way.
Come on, make them count, MercGoat.
That was the best I had. That wasn't even a 1.
Yeah. Go on.
No, I'm just going to sit here for a while.
That was like getting fucked in the ass and trying to fart. That's what that was.
You never done that?
A little bit of blowback.
See, at least the queef is just air. If somebody does that while you're fucking them in the ass, you're getting shit in your dick.
I pulled out of this girl once, and she queefed for like 3 minutes straight. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. You could see it moving.
God.
I was doing this girl, and, I pulled out for a moment, and she queefed, and she looks at me like, when a dog farts himself awake. Like, what was that? I'm like, what do you mean, what was that? That came from you!
Wow. We're very
That was your
open on
noise,
this
not my
show.
noise.
There is no line.
I know the sounds my dick makes, that doesn't come from it. I'm currently trying to get to whistle. Get like a little piercing in there, and then I'm just going to wave it in the wind.
Wow.
So, what were you saying about these dead people?
So, you really like this girl, even though she queefs a lot, and she dies because she queefed herself to death. But she was your one true love. What are you going to do? And you're kind of creepy. You have some clothes that she used to wear, or a pillow.
Sleep in her clothes.
Well, you could, at first. But before the smell wears out completely, it might take a year or two, you can bring the clothing or the pillowcase or whatever it may be to this company, and they will extract the human smell of this person and put it into a cologne. So you can always smell that person.
Wow, I can just see every stalker in the entirety of the world stealing panties and bringing it to these companies.
That was my
Wait.
first thought, too.
Why not just get the perfume she wears? Because that's what you're smelling at the time.
That's true.
That would make sense.
I think it's more for women than men. I think it's
Yeah,
one of
because
those
women can
things.
smell the pheromones. We
Yeah.
can't.
However, they can do that. But it got me thinking, like, who is this for besides old ladies that miss their husbands?
Me.
My ex-girlfriends.
Stalkers.
Stalkers. That's what it's for.
It's for stalkers.
It's all those women are my crazy ex-girlfriend.
Imagine this. You're dating this new person after your loved one passed. Can you put this cologne on? It will really help me.
Ah, yes. They're having erectile dysfunction.
You smell just like Jerry. Probably because I'm making you smell like Jerry. And then they even put their photo on it. To make it even more awkward.
They just poke out some eye holes.
Here, have some Steve.
Would you like some Esteban?
Why is Mexican name?
Well, apparently he likes the
why they got
Mexican.
killed by her ex-husband.
Next they'll do fetus flavor.
Oh, God.
Fetus flavored what?
Condoms.
This is what you're aborting!
Oh, my God.
Suck it down, bitch!
Ah, yes, the line.
Here's the kid you
ever-present
gave
line
up.
that we don't care about.
Now rated NC-17.
Excellent.
Rob Schneider is a condom.
Rob
At
Schneider.
NC-17.
Well, keeping on with the fuck-ups and shit theme of this week.
Is Ginger still naked? I'm curious.
We'll have the big reveal at the end of the show. After air.
God.
I said we're gonna keep with fuck-ups. Not wanting to fuck. John, so.
I'm still in the not wanting to...
Well, let's talk about Bombfest 2015. Fuck-ups.
Bombfest.
Gotta love ISIS. And not the Archer one, either.
No,
Well,
definitely not the Archer.
ISIS out there apparently released a kill list of certain cities and states. Connecticut has 2 states. Surprisingly, Rhode Island's Newport's on the list, but I guess, for the Navy base, there would be a tactical advantage to hit there. There's the other place on there, like Reno, Nevada. Where you're not going out to Las Vegas, but you go out to Reno.
I think they have an airbase there.
They might have they might have an air base. It might be all military now that I think
Yeah,
about it.
it's all military.
But there's nothing in Massachusetts.
Well,
There's the air base that my brother works at.
Exactly. Massachusetts did not make that list for some reason.
I think they're going military. I think that's what they're aiming for, it sounds
well,
like.
maybe they just have a lot of operatives in, Boston. Why would they want to blow up their own dudes,
He's got a point.
Well, that's the point of a suicide bomber. I mean, if my dad's a suicide bomber, he comes home the next day, something went wrong.
Well, I assume the suicide bombers don't want to set off the other suicide bombers before they suicide bomb
So
themselves.
it's like a chain reaction.
Yeah, you
Like
don't want the chain
firecrackers.
reaction.
Hey, you do. More bang for your buck.
But they might not be in their location. The ghetto of Boston might not be their target, I'm just saying.
I don't think there's anything in the ghetto of Boston. It's like, let's go bomb Detroit.
Oh wait, it looks like they already hit this place. Let's leave.
There you go.
We'll attack Baltimore. You know what? Let's stay out of Baltimore.
I don't want to mess with those people.
That's pretty crazy in
Did you
Baltimore.
see that, Mom? I don't want to get hit by that one. Yeah, she might kill me.
It's like comedian Dave Attell had this bit. He's like, just go to a bus station if you're worried about travel. The terrorists will get there, they'll see and go, oh fuck, they already got this place, and leave.
Sounds like Hartford as well.
My favorite bit by David Tell is when he's like, all right, everyone, I'm just going to leave you with this last piece of advice before I go. If you see a man naked running down the street, just everything dangling, you follow that man because you do not want to see what that man is running from.
So are we following you after the show?
Yep, maybe. If I'm naked.
There's also this spoof about a suicide bear Zorn was telling us about.
Ah, yes. There was an article about a assisted suicide bear that I was reading at one point. Thankfully, I found out that it is not actually an assisted suicide bear. It's a nursing bear in Japan. But also, it was from Japan, so I was wondering, is this actually true?
The fake article's like, it's smiling while it strangles you to death. It's
Yeah.
such a happy thing.
It was pretty disturbing when I read it, but thankfully, it's not actually
It's for
that.
kids who have disappointed their parents.
That is pretty.
Seppuku bear. There we go.
That is pretty metal. However, it's not the metal moment of the week because Ginger has that.
The middle moment of the week is brought to you something that I am terrified of. Spiders. Spiders freak me right the fuck out. The bigger the spider, the bigger the fear. Now I heard
Sounds like a poem.
there was a spider out there, in like the South American countries, that if you kill its nest, its web, it will stalk you and kill you. Now, I know there's spiders out there, I was trying to look up the name of it, couldn't find it, but I found other spiders that, are just as fucking freaky. Like, there's the trapdoor spider, which you probably heard of, which, buries in the sand. And, it will, its prey comes by, it will basically release it and pop out and kill it. There's a spider in Australia that eats birds like it's okay. Yes, it's a bird-eating spider. I've seen a video where it just jumps out the tree, latches around it. That's how big the spider is. It latches around like a face crawler or whatever they call from Alien, and just boom, kills it.
There's probably an ant that eats that spider in Australia.
In Australia, where everything kills you.
Well, apparently the camel spider will chase after you going 30 miles per hour while screaming.
How big are those fuckers?
You ever see the picture of the camel spider?
Maybe. Is that the thing that's like the size of like me?
This. It's all like yellow and like skinny and disgusting.
I actually met a soldier that was talking about the camel spiders because they're over there. He's saying you turn the night vision on and they all show up with the night vision goggles at night, and it's the freakiest fucking thing.
Yeah, actually, I have a friend who brought his... Oh, it was mandatory to bring your gun everywhere you went, because if they came for you, you got to shoot them.
Yeah. They're no joke.
They run 30 miles per hour screaming.
That's almost as fast as my Greyhound.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking spider.
And it's the size of your Greyhound.
But there is this spider in Brazil that can give you a 4-hour-long erection with its venom. I'm just saying, I guess
4-hour-long erection.
Where can I get that?
I'm pretty sure they could distill the venom and avoid the spider.
There you go. You could save money on like all this medical research for like.
So that's where Viagra came from. We're injecting our bodies, well, actually,
so it's like
swallowing our bodies with
little blue pills.
Spider dick.
Excellent.
Viagra was originally for like heart pressure medicine, and they just found out, oh fuck, everyone's getting boners with this stuff.
Well, tampons were originally for bullet wounds in World War II.
Yeah, and they still are. They still use them for that reason.
High heels were originally for butchers.
Really? That I didn't know.
Tights and pantyhose, that was all for men. Actually, women started wearing that so they could be more masculine, and that's when men started wearing them back in like the Renaissance.
They're like, wait a minute, we like when their asses look painted on, with those pants look painted on.
Oh, her butt looks better on that. It's not as saggy. Just put her on that.
Switch.
Well, speaking of drugs like Viagra, apparently all these banana boxes were found to have cocaine in them.
Again?
Again.
It looks like there was a couple articles, as you said, last year it was like 10 million, or it was like 10 million euros or something like that, and then I think it was in the UK. And then this past like couple weeks, I guess it was 15 million euros. Somebody's making a mistake, and I don't think it's the distributor.
Yeah, me
Do you
neither.
think like the head guy always is like Esteban, wrong address again? I do this once a year, and you still get it wrong.
Why hasn't the mob killed him yet from all these? Imagine all these having their own mob. It's a cut-back grocery store, so it'd be really cut back. They'd all drive up in, like, 98 Corollas.
And it's so nice, too, and the people in there, they're kind of like, they're not, like, upper class, but they're not lower class. They're just, like, middle-of-the-road people who do want to save a couple extra bucks.
You do see a lot of higher-end cars outside the parking lot,
But
usually.
you would never know. That'd be a perfect... They have a mafia, that's it. That's where the mob is running right now. They're running Aldi.
Well, the thing is, too, it's like, everybody in the mob does everything, just like the people at Aldi's. Because if you're working on register, you're stocking the store, you take an inventory,
It's a
you do
fantastic,
everything.
way to actually wash money.
It's
and,
communism at its
know,
finest.
Well, what does the mob do? They leave horse heads under your bed, right?
Under your bed. It's
Or
next
in
to
your bed. In your bed.
Depends on the mob.
Whatever. They leave horse heads somewhere in or around your bed. And what happened with Ollie's a couple years ago? Their beef was found to be 100% horse meat.
That's
so after
good.
they chop the head off, at least they're recycling.
There you go. You got to use all the body. They're being very Indian about it.
For a while,
Sorry, Native American.
at the crane game in Walmart, I noticed there was a horse head in there that had the sticker of Godfather on it.
I just saw this article, and I think it's fake, about this woman that was stealing oranges from Walmart by shoving up her cooch.
Oh, $100
$100
worth
worth
of...
of groceries,
yeah.
yep.
I don't think it's real,
I
but
don't know. Anyone know a girl that would be willing to try this out?
I know a girl who actually used to fuck the stick of the Big Mac truck that her husband used to, drive. and she got pleasure out of it and had no problems afterwards. So
I'm gonna continue drinking my ale now.
I mean, it's very elastic. It's like your anus, because your anus can fit things pretty deep in, like...
I mean, if you could pass a kid through there, I'm sure, but...
Like, you can fit, like, a good, like, 10-foot bong in your butt. No problem. Once you get it stretching...
Have you tried this?
I'm almost there. I got 8 feet in.
Wow.
It's all about the proper exercises and stretching.
Well, while John shows us his trick, we're going to go on commercial break, so we'll be right back.
Yes! Yes! I've done it, Igor! Yes, Master. That's right. I've created it. You have male impotence. Well, with Dr. Frankenstein's monster maker, I can create and give you 12 plus inches in 6 hours of entertainment. Yes! 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 But don't take my word for it.
Yes, I don't quite remember what happened, but what I do remember is my wife screaming, and then her cervix snapped.
Yes! Yes! See? It works! It's alive! It's alive!
Welcome back. John has set the record to 9 feet now. He's 90% of the way there.
The only question we're still wondering is if he's naked.
Well, when he was doing that, he was.
No, he still had his shirt on.
Ah, that's right.
well, yes, and thankfully it's still everything happened below the table line, and I'm not looking down there.
Well, but then again, if it happened below the table line, we didn't see. We don't know if he's naked. He may.
But that watermelon disappeared.
So what? He could have. I don't know what he could have done with the watermelon. He could have fucked it.
There's no watermelon yet.
Wow.
You want a piece of watermelon?
No.
You sure?
I'm quite positive, thank you.
Well, as I've said 100 times today, the theme of today is horrible ideas. And this probably leads up to the worst idea ever. It's called A119. Why don't you tell us a little about it, Ginger?
Project A119. Back in the 1950s, for some reason, we thought it was a good idea to blow up the moon with the nuclear warhead. To understand its mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you listening, I just air quoted mysteries.
And he just did it again.
Because, back in 1959, we didn't understand that, because of the moon, we have a tidal system. It pulls the waves, it brings it in. That's all because of the moon. But no, fuck the moon!
So, what was nuking it gonna, It was funny because I was reading up on it while you mentioned it, and the first photo that came up was Carl Sagan, because it was inspired by something that Carl Sagan was doing.
Oh, God.
Back in the day.
In a book he wrote. I read that
Yeah.
too.
I'm like, okay. And I understand that, it had to do with nuclear testing, this and that. But why the moon? Was it something on the moon? Were the commies on the moon?
I think it was we're at the point if we can't be the first on the moon, we might as well blow it up.
Which would make
If
sense.
we can't get there first, nobody can.
If we can't finish, she's not gonna finish.
Exactly, that's how I feel.
If you can't get your girlfriend to finish once in a while, you're just a horrible person.
Or, somebody else's girlfriend,
As long as you're finishing someone,
Yeah, there you go.
let them have their moment before you spill a load on their back.
I fish a couple people a day.
Or their face.
Or their face. I always find that most of the girls I sleep with have back tattoos, and as you know, it's a great target, so...
Oh, fair enough.
See, I got a target on my ass.
that butterfly looks like it's an
actual target.
ectoplasm.
I actually have a painted target on my ass. I got tattooed on me.
Mm.
And then I got over here for try again.
My ex actually had a exit-only tattoo on her ass.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you totally try and fuck her in the ass?
Normally I'm not into it, but there was definitely that temptation. Just
There
because.
was that, it was a no.
Just because
so I
she
wanted
said
to do it.
no.
Exactly.
Just because she said no, I'm going to prove you wrong and fuck you in the ass.
I'm really not into it, but I definitely would have given the opportunity.
Well, if it says exit only and you didn't get the...
I just want to prove that tattoo wrong.
You want to prove that you broke a law.
I have a friend who, she was telling me a story about how her boyfriend at the time, he's like, oh, you want to fuck? She's like, don't wake me type of deal. And
That always gets you in trouble.
she was pretty dry because she was half awake. And he started fucking her, and there was no condom. They were in a pretty long relationship. For some reason, although they've never done anal before, and it's something you usually at least talk about with your partner before you do it, for some reason, Dum Dum decided to think that he was in her ass. She's never done anal before, and he clearly wasn't. So he decides he's gonna finish, and doesn't pull out. And she wakes the fuck up when she realizes what he did, or what he did.
What he done.
What he done, what he did don't matter. So they had a pregnancy scare because he thought he was in her ass, even though they never talked about it before.
He couldn't tell which hole he was in. And she was half asleep.
Yeah, so she wasn't even enjoying it. So she was dry as fuck.
How do you not know the difference?
I assume she's tight.
Well, from somebody who has done all sorts of different things, you can tell!
I'm just saying, he's not very smart.
He's gotta not be very smart, because, I reiterate, you can tell!
I'm dumb? That's dumber than my dumb.
And some of you may know who I'm talking about, but we're not going to use names on air. If you don't, we'll tell you later.
But you know. You always know.
All right, our 3 listeners, all of you that have done anal, can you tell? Text 3 for yes, 4 for no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the numbers we're looking for under this video.
So we're going to pull out of this topic and jump into the next one.
Wow. That brings us to our celebrity death match. We always try to do themes. This week's theme is the King Bout.
The Battle of the Kings, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King Jr., one of everyone's probably favorite heroes, versus probably one of the most influential musical icons out there, Elvis, the King of Rock and Roll.
Well, let's just say, as a precursor, whoever does win this, we're going to piss off somebody.
This is tough, and we we don't always like the 2 people, but in this week we do. But someone's got to die.
Someone's gonna die. Someone's gonna die. So, want to start us off this time, Ginger?
Elvis.
Well, tell us why.
Because Martin Luther King's a peace-loving asshole who's not going to bring a gun, and Elvis will bring one.
Elvis was in the military.
Elvis was a DEA agent. You know how he got to be a DEA agent? He brought a gun into the White House past security and showed it in front of President Nixon.
You can't even, walk in there without them having their hands up your ass.
Exactly.
But he's Elvis, so they didn't question him.
Mm-hmm.
Man brought a gun to the White House. Showed it off to the president like, hey, look what I got past security.
SLB.
This is the way I see it. So, you have Elvis. He's the king of rock. So you got all the rockers out there.
King of cock.
I can't count that.
Taking
No.
pills.
Now, that was Liberace. But, yeah, taking pills. Then you got Martin Luther King Jr., the leader of the civil rights movement. Very nonviolent. So, we have the black vote against the rockers. Now, if we want to fast forward a little bit with their support, because one dies from an overdose and the other one gets shot. Let's put him in the modern day terms. So now, Martin Luther King Jr. is the leader running the Ferguson raids right now. I don't know why he's running the Ferguson raids.
No, if anything, he'd be opposing him.
This is almost as weird as my fucking Abraham Lincoln story, I can tell.
If anything, he'd be beating the crap out of Al Sharpton for being an ignorant asshole.
And Jesse Jackson. Well, both of them. Yeah, he killed both of them. But,
Well, not kill, just sternly talk to you. But go on.
Yeah, he's a man of nonviolence.
so he'd stare him down to death.
Yes.
So now we're assuming that, now we're assuming Martin Luther King Jr. is Professor X. He's in a wheelchair, and he's bald, and he has telepathic powers.
Oh my god.
This is as bad as my fucking Abraham Lincoln story.
Are you sure?
And
Yeah.
now we have Elvis, who is like Magneto, except he attracts drugs.
Oh my god.
So they go into this like X-Men type battle, you know. You have like Malcolm X, who's like Cyclops or something like that, and he gets killed by I don't know, some other from Janis Joplin with I don't know. She's like Storm, except she like shoots needles at people.
Wow.
Wow, SLB's going to hell just for this.
You would?
So I can imagine like in an X-Men movie, you get Elvis, who it ends up with Elvis and Martin Luther King. They battle out. It's a battle of the minds, and something happens where Martin Luther King's mind is strong enough to kind of push Magneto Presley's power against him. So whatever he's throwing at him, say it's like heroin or something, heroin needles with like AIDS on him, backfires. He controls them and he fills himself with AIDS-filled heroin and he's dead. And that's all I have. I'm going to say MLK Jr.
All right, 101. Zorn.
Well, I don't know if I can follow that with anything that's, you know.
Not coherent?
Oh, don't worry, mine's gonna be even stranger.
Oh, great. So,
You have time travel again?
No, we're not doing that. That was a failure.
So what we have here is we have Martin Luther King Jr. and he has a army of people who, you know, rallied with him, and he obviously did a lot of good things. And we cut Elvis Presley. He is remembered by his many impersonators. So I'm going to say that this is going to come down to some sort of like chess-like battle because they're both men of, well, sometimes smart, sometimes bad decisions. Bad decisions on Presley's side, good decisions on King's side. But, you see, they have all of these people, like pawns on a chessboard. So we have the female Elvis being the queen, and she, you know, gets moved first, because, you know, that's the way it goes. And an epic and strategic wizard duel chess match.
What is this, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh now?
No, Harry Potter.
See, he gets it. Goes down. And in this specific case, I believe that Martin Luther King Jr., who is not on a lot of drugs, facing against Elvis, will in fact win this war. And of course, this is the way that he dies. Elvis is trying to take so many drugs to keep up with MLK that he just falls over and he has to sacrifice his king.
So does Elvis have a bunch of kids on him, kind of like in Harry Potter? Oh wait, no, that's Michael Jackson. You know.
So is that 2 for MLK?
2 for MLK.
All right, so I can either tie it or make it pretty much a blowout.
If
Awesome.
we tie, we've never ever done a tie.
We have not done tie.
Well,
It'll be so
it is all up to you.
I don't. Oh, I already had an idea, so I'm gonna stick with it.
All right, let's do this.
And if it ruins it, tough shit. Anyway, 19. Elvis and him were had to been alive at the same time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll say they were in Memphis. It's a long, hot day. Elvis decides that he's gonna steal a bus.
Oh God.
So sitting at the front of this bus is MLK.
Sure it wasn't Rosa Parks?
I'm pretty sure it was Parks, but go on.
Well, Rosa Parks tries to get out and he shoots her in the head because this is a
Oh,
fucked up-
Jesus.
Because we're just gonna make this as violent as possible. We're gonna go the Tarantino route again.
Okay, Tarantino.
So Elvis goes, "Hey, get in the back of the bus," and MLK says, "Fuck you, I'm not getting in the back of the bus." So it turns into a fight, much like the Chicken and Peter Griffin and a Family Guy. About they're just slapping the shit out of each other. The bus doesn't even matter at this point. They
blew up in the middle of the fight, of course.
They're just fighting. And they fight for like a day, just non-stop blows. They're both like really strong. They're both really hopped up on drugs, because why not?
Well, apparently, you know, Elvis's blood is drug-infested enough to actually get MLK a very nice...
There we go. So they're high, they're fighting for like a day, and they just stop and they go, "What the fuck are we fighting about again?" I don't know. MLK plays very coy, very sneaky. He goes, "You know what? I got a present for you." And he gives him a brownie. Elvis eats it, not realizing it's an X-Lax brownie. And he goes and runs on the shitter. But the amount of drugs he took that day, he ODs and dies on the toilet. That's actually how he died. Martin Luther King Jr. killed Elvis. That's a true story.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that part.
Well, I guess that MLK Jr. is a person going through.
Wow.
I just knew that I wanted Elvis to die in a toilet. That's what I had going
my
into
God.
it. I didn't know how I was going to reach that point, but
So I think what we have to do now for our listeners, we're going to have to get what we have right now and start posting up where we are, because we haven't done that in
yeah, I got to fix the bracket.
Because we're at week 9, we got 9 fighters. I don't know how we're doing for the first round. Want to do 6? Are we doing 16?
16 would be 16 rounds, so we still got another 7 before we go round 2.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I can't wait for the second round.
This is going to be fun. We're going to get even more. We're going to have to start throwing handicaps and put them in specific, like, put, like, I don't know, I forgot, who was it? Ray Charles won?
Mm-hmm.
Ray Charles and, like,
Yeah.
John Candy and, like, no, it was Ray Charles and who's Ray Charles going to fight?
Did John Candy win out of that group? I can't remember.
Was it John Candy or was it...
No, Ray Charles fights someone else. I forgot who.
Well, Ray Charles.
We did blind and then who we did? Oh, Stephen Hawkins?
I think Stephen Hawking won.
They'll do, like, a cage match where they have to climb out of the cage.
Oh, jeez.
The most one-sided fights in history.
Well, it's like what I sent you guys over the message board earlier about the whole at work we're having this dispute over Iron Man versus Batman. Now this is not going to be in the brackets, but if you want to post your opinion, you can.
Well, clearly it's Batman, and if you decide to go the other way, you're wrong.
Pretty much, because they're like, no, Iron Man has the suit. Yeah, but Batman has a mech suit too. Batman has access to all these things. It's like, what would you say Batman won? He can't say against what? No, he won't want to stand for us because he thinks of everything. Batman has a contingency plan for any superhero that were to go rogue. He has a plan to stop everybody, even himself.
They
Because
have...
he's fucking Batman.
They are both Playboy millionaires.
But who makes more money?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
Iron
Stark
Man.
makes more money.
Stark might make more money. However, if you were to strip him down and tell him to fight,
Bruce Wayne would
it
kick
would
his
be
ass.
insane because he was trained by the League of Assassins.
Yeah, he's a master of like 27 different martial arts.
And Tony Stark was tortured in a country, if you want to call it torture, in a country in the Middle East. So,
Well, it's like, not for nothing, but even if Batman didn't have the suit, he could probably get in close enough to use his EMP grenade and just render the suit useless.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let's take him out of the suit and you beat him like her.
Well, he can't take him out of the suit because the suit of Tony Stark is force field like bonded to like
And-
stay together.
and the only way Tony Stark knows how to fight out of his suit is fighting the women who are trying to take his seat from him. That's really it. Fighting him to get him off. Him.
The guy I work with, he's saying like, oh well, what's like how's it gonna work? It's like Tony Stark's gonna lose because Tony Stark is fucking arrogant. They could know they're gonna be fighting in 2 days. Tony Stark would not study up, he would not do anything, and he would just sit there and wait till the day of the fight to actually do something.
And even if
Batman will do what he needs to make sure it all comes out in his favor.
Yeah, and even if there's a point where Iron Man had the upper hand, Batman already knows that if there's a period in the fight where Iron Man's gonna have the upper hand, he already has a plan.
Yeah,
Just in case.
because
Tony Stark
Batman plans ahead. Tony Stark relies on probability.
Well, here's
Probability can constantly change. Batman makes you into his trap.
here's the thing, though. Batman is actually taking out Darkseid. Darkseid could whoop Iron Man's ass.
A lot of villains can whoop Iron Man's ass. The Hulk can whoop Iron Man's ass, which was another fight we had. Hulk versus Iron Man Hulkbuster suit.
Mm.
Well, I'm assuming neither of you have seen Age of Ultron yet,
Nope.
because there is a fight between those two.
Yes,
Yeah.
I understand that, and I understand how the mechanics of the Hulkbuster suit works. Basically, the Hulk can't smash the Hulkbuster suit. It's like resistance, so it just like disevolves the kinetic energy. But I'm saying like, okay, he can't smash. Hulk's gonna get smart to that. Hulk is gonna start ripping. It's not immune to that.
I'd say Batman. It's a no-brainer.
Oh yeah, Batman.
Even there's an article, we had an argument at my work a while ago. Batman or Superman. And it was still Batman. And everyone's like, well,
It's always
Superman has
Batman.
this, and this. And
Batman's beat his ass plenty of times.
not just that. Superman himself has given Bruce Wayne kryptonite just in case something goes wrong.
He keeps it on him at all times.
Yes, he does.
He always has kryptonite on him in case Superman ever was like, you know what, I'm just gonna kill people. No. Bad Superman. Here's the rock you gave me.
So Batman always wins.
We should just have a fight of non-human things next week.
Like a water bottle and a D6.
Something really strange.
U.S. Marine Corps versus Stick.
Ingress versus geocaching. Go.
Stick always wins.
It's like rock, paper,
All right.
scissors.
Moving on, boys.
Well, as we've done before in the last couple of weeks, we always want to share a drinking story with you. This week is Ginger's.
I'm going to tell you a story that happened up in New Hampshire. It's about a drink I made. It's known as Captain Jim Jack Turkey. And yes, those are all the liquors in it. Captain Morgan, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, and Wild Turkey.
Dear God.
Yes. No ice, no filter, just straight alcohol.
I thought
Why
there
the
was a
fuck
splash
would
of
you do
Coke for
that?
coloring.
No, there was not.
Why
I
would
was
you do
lied
that?
to.
It only gets better. I've heard the story several times.
All right, tell us.
So, we have our two friends, Bobby and Dave. You know, our friend Bobby has, you know, pretty much just stopped drinking altogether because he understands if he keeps drinking, it's going to lead him down a bad road. So he pretty much quit it. Dave has done his best to slow it down and live a more sober lifestyle, and good for him. He drinks occasionally, but not to the point where he's going to be out fighting everybody. So they both learned their lessons, not through this story, but in general.
Eventually.
And, you know, congratulations to them both. Not saying anything bad about them. We were out. They gave me one of our friends. He's like, Keith. He's like, hey, Ginger, make me a drink. Okay. And so he just gave me a cup, and I stood there in front of the table with all the liquor on, and I just poured it all into a cup. Here you go. This is delicious.
Oh my God.
So I started making drinks for everybody. I don't know why they let me do this. It was a very bad idea. Especially at the point where our friends Dave and Bobby got into a fight. Dave had an epilepsy attack with it. We got kicked out of the campgrounds that we were in at the time. And the state trooper said, you might as well just all go back home and get out of the state. So we pretty much got kicked out of New Hampshire, the live free or die state, for living too freely. They should put a little asterisk up there that says, freedom may vary.
He even has it on the license
There are
plate.
exceptions.
Yeah. I didn't think, you know, in a state that said live free or die, I was living pretty freely that night.
Someone almost died?
I decided to go
What's that?
home with Church Boy that night.
You went home with Josh, yep. Because you did not want to get caught up in that, and I, you know, agree with you.
The fucked up part was I told him, like, I ran into him along my walk. I'm like, something just bad is going to happen tonight. He's like, all right, I got you down as a bet for something bad happening tonight. I'm like, all right. And sure enough, it did.
Obviously.
We also had our other friend, we're not going to name names, who was asking the cop really stupid questions the whole time. Like, can I sleep in my truck? Can I do this? Can I go to the bathroom? Like, he asked this cop all these stupid questions. Were you there to catch that?
That what I think it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I remember that. It was like, oh, well, I gotta do this, and it's like, cops like, just stay in here. Just stay in here with everyone else. But can I go to no, just stay in the trailer. That's it.
Hey! That reminds me of our New Year's party when he was worried about his grandmother's table.
Oh, that was hilarious. But, funny part of that story is Dave, when he finally, like, you know, came to and the epilepsy attack was over, he woke up in this large woman's arms, like, you know, just like being nuzzled in her breast, and Dave's like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this woman cradling me? Sir, you got into a fight? I got into a fight?
I think next week we gotta do New Year's.
Oh, the New Year's party?
yeah.
Oh my. I still have the picture. We can post that for it, too.
Yes, that's
this
actually...
past New Year's?
That was, what, 3
It
years
was
ago?
like, God, when we first met.
Yeah. That was when me and Ginger actually first started talking.
But that long.
Yeah. It's
How
been a
long's
while.
that long?
That was before, obviously, Maddie, obviously, Ashley.
It was before Ashley. I wasn't living at that house in West Warwick yet.
Yeah, because John wasn't there full time. So, I want to say that was 2012
3 years ago,
into
yeah.
13.
I want to say about 3 years ago.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. So that'd be 2012, because the 20... Going...
Actually, it might have been 2011 into 2012 because
Could've been
I was dating Ashley
Yeah, you were at my
for
house
New Year's
I
at
think,
20.
that
I think
night.
that was 2011, dude.
But Ashley wasn't there. You weren't dating her yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so-
had to be 2011 then.
Because
That
2012,
was
2013, he was at my place.
that was over 4 years ago. Wow, time flies. Yeah, it had to be because I was dating Ashley for. I remember she passed out on New Year's.
Yeah, I left work to go to the party, and you're wearing like that, then like smart ass, dumb
Yeah, the
ass.
donkey shirt.
Yeah, I have that same shirt, and you're like, oh well, I just got a cigarette burn on it.
Yeah, I burned my cigar on my shirt. I was fucked up.
Sully got messed up.
The cops ruined that party too.
Not even our fault that time, but
Yeah.
we'll save that for next week.
Well, is that the one I think it is? I've heard too.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we'll do the full story next
Okay.
week. But touching on the idea of cops, as I've mentioned before, and it's something I've wanted to talk about a while without getting too political. We run into a lot of cops in Ingress, and as I said, some of them can be very cool, much like our hardcore of the week.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is some that are just a bag of dicks that need to lighten the fuck up.
Drugs are good. And when you do, people think that you are cool.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for interrupting my story with your drugs and your cell phones and
Because
your...
drugs are good.
And stuff.
So, is there anything you want to say about police officers?
Not really. I mean, I've had my issues with cops. I mean, they definitely just need to. I don't do their job, and half the stories we hear about them, we're not there, so we can't physically know if they're 100% at fault. Cops I've dealt with, some of them can be pain in the ass. Some of them have. There are some times when I deal with cops, it's almost like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Sometimes they're the kids from high school who just want to continue being,
Assholes.
He's being aggressive. He's being aggressive. I'm just reading a book.
I'm just sick of being told I can and cannot be out late at night, basically. I don't need them to tell me where I can go and all that without getting too far into it.
It's a free country.
For now.
We're not
I
in
mean,
martial
also,
law.
the other thing is, I'm surprised they come near us. Like, we've gotten pulled over a couple times at night where we live. We're near Quonset Point, and it's a very busy industrial park. We have electric boat there that builds submarines. So for all they know, we could be going in and out. We could be the third shift, first shift going in. You know. But
North Kingstown usually leaves me alone for the most part.
Well, I've actually had no real bad interactions with cops because when I was growing up, my best friend was the daughter of the sheriff of Rhode Island.
It's all who you know, a lot of it too.
Yep. So every time that I was off with her, I never had to worry of a cop. Trespassing, breaking and entering, yeah, it didn't matter.
It's nice, but it's dual-sided. It's just one of those things you gotta look out for. It's something I've always wanted to talk about, but really it's hard to get into without getting too political.
True.
I think Chris, and even if you have problems with cops, I think you ever watch Chris Rock's video, How Not to Get Your Ass Kicked by the Police?
Oh yeah, that's funny as hell.
Kind of, best way to handle, whether they're being, an asshole or whether they're just being, doing their job. Don't be a dick and try to be cooperative.
However, in the last month or two, I've dealt with a lot cooler cops than I have this winter. Winter was bad, but with the Ingress story and everything else, they seem to be a little bit more chill. Maybe because they know more about Ingress or whatever. But
now we're not going to have cops coming to us because, what are you doing? Dude, why is it says, something about cops and their name Ingress Group stealing our portals? Because they're out all the time.
Right.
We can't keep up with
Cops
them.
would be the best Ingress players.
They would be. Our one listener that's a cop, that could be you.
Yeah.
Resistance. Give a lot of resistance.
And we're going to close the story with a little bit about the Patriots because we really don't care that much about sports, but we thought it was interesting, so.
So, first and foremost, as we all know, Tom Brady is getting suspended. It's a 4-game, $1 million, 2 draft picks, 1 first round, 1 fourth round suspension. For probably more than not, and I'm quoting the Wells report, probably more than not, supposedly deflating a football or two, because I've heard several different stories from several different reports, whether it be 1 or 2 footballs, by a couple PSI. My understanding is we live in what ideologically is supposed to be the greatest country in the world.
Yep.
A country that had the idea that you are innocent until proven guilty. However, since when has probably more than not been considered guilty?
With NASCAR and Kurt Busch, the same thing happened when he supposedly beat up his ex-girlfriend. He's back now because they proved that she was a psychopath liar, and he actually won a race, so he's actually...
Did they compensate him for whatever he got?
Yes, he is eligible for the chase, which is like the championship. The The only thing is he did miss the first some odd races, so he had to win a race. Second or third weekend is exactly what he did. So he will be into the championship reset after race 26.
I would have also asked for a poor investigation, because I'm assuming he got a suspension, then they went back and opened it up or something. I would have given him, because that's not a sport where you're signed onto a contract. I'm assuming kind of like a sport.
Oh, NASCAR is very contract ridden.
But what's their contracts compared to what people in football make?
Money wise, bigger driver like Kurt Busch, he's probably making close.
I still would have
Probably not as much, but close.
And I know they make that money, but I still would have monetary compensation as well.
Danica Patrick is, even though she runs 25th every week, she makes a shit ton of money. And actually, I heard that GoDaddy is actually leaving her at the end of the year, so maybe we don't have to deal with her fucking ass anymore, because she doesn't have a new sponsor lined up.
Maybe it'll be Aaron Hernandez.
It's just one of those things, like, she's a horrible driver and she's in top grade equipment. If you put fucking some B-rate driver in there, he'd probably want to fucking race.
Probably something not big, but he'd be like that guy who maybe barely finishes like top 5. You know, someone a little better.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of better drivers out there.
But I think so he didn't turn in his phone, from my understanding, and I understand how that's important. He should have turned in his phone, but the report, from my understanding, is inconsistent. And this isn't me just being a Pats fan. In any case, if somebody comes up with a report saying probably more than not, like there's something missing. Something's missing. It's, yes, we found him guilty because of XYZ. Probably more than not is, yeah, we have some information that he did it, but we don't have enough. But since we have some of it, and we're going to take what we have, and we're going to, say he's guilty. And that wouldn't be in any sport. That'd be in anything.
Yeah.
And it's funny because some guy, and this is the other argument, some guy let out a couple of PSI in football, and I understand it affects the game. He's getting 4-game suspension. When Ray Rice did what he did, when Roethlisberger did what he did with that chick, when all these other guys did what they did.
There's other players that have admitted that they knew about it and didn't get anything for it, too, from what I've read.
Oh, yeah. That's when they should have done a full league investigation. But these other players where they... Michael Vick with the dogs. Or you have Ben Roethlisberger, who
Michael Vick, who's still playing, isn't he?
I think he's still playing.
I heard he was going to be MVP one year, too.
Ben Roethlisberger, who supposedly, and I'm not sure on the details, supposedly practically raped somebody. They got like a 2-game suspension, and then they're still playing. And as I said, I'm not saying that it's a good thing that the PSI thing happened, but we're more concerned about the size of a ball than how these men are treated. Look, the moment that Aaron Hernandez was supposedly suspected of murdering somebody, they ripped everything off the website. Aaron Hernandez was almost like wiped clean off the Pats.
Yeah. What was that thing that Johnny Angel said?
Oh, he was saying basically, they're a non-profit organization. If you do wrong at all in the NFL, they drop you. They act like you never existed. It's like, oh, I guess this was this first time. It's hard to tell. But they just don't fucking care.
My understanding that the commissioner there...
They pay no taxes, promotes or covers up for criminal activity, domestic violence, and... Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing what they just found. Was it the NFL? The NFL, they just found out that all those, support our troops events prior to the games, those are all funded by the military. Those are advertisements. That's marketing campaigns to get people into the military.
So they have the military paying for their own commercials in there.
Well, they sponsored how many NASCARs for how many years? They used to have one for every branch at one point.
Well, that's one thing. That's sponsoring a car. But they have these people who you think are these soldiers coming out, we like to think are, so-and-so troop, from this division, from the state of California.
You think they do it for free, but no, they're actually having to be paid to be there.
Yes. And the NFL, and there's actually a list, and I was kind of looking through, and actually the Pats aren't on that list of teams who got paid federal money to have, which is, I don't know, it's sports, it's just so, and I made one statement, and I compared it to, this is going to get a little political, a little bit, but I basically said, and it goes to, not so much the verdict, but also the fact that people are so concerned with crucifying this one man, and then when something more important happens in the world, like whether it be with the president and election and war, people like to turn their backs, and I got reamed for something like that.
It does happen. All right, let's end it there. Closing arguments. We'll start with Ginger.
I'm still not sure if I'm naked.
All right.
Still waiting to hear that.
We're going to figure that out through our 3 listeners. SLB.
No, we're just excited to record next week. You know, another exciting show.
Mm-hmm. Heard you got a date?
Yeah, she's gonna come out. We're gonna meet her at my birthday.
Oh, cool.
So,
That's Sunday, right?
birthday Sunday, yes.
Well, happy birthday to the SLB.
Thank
Good
you.
luck on your date.
It's probably not a good time to tell you since it's on the air, but I do got to work till 8 or 9. So hopefully
Oh,
you're
he's ruined his
It's
birthday.
going a little bit later, right?
I'm not getting there till 7.
I don't get out till like 9 or 10, but
I'm off all week.
okay, so it should go to 1 then.
And if we're not at the bar, we'll be at my house.
Okay, cool.
All right. So what I would like to do is I would like to thank artist of mine that's Reality A, and also now going to be doing a logo for MercGoat Conspiracy, Emily Boyer. You can check her out on a couple of different sites, DeviantArt and whatnot, but we can put those different things under the video thing for YouTube.
The logo looks great.
We do have a logo, guys. It'll be coming soon.
It's too
Yeah.
fucking hot.
It's fucking beautiful. The weather sucks, and I just want to close the show by saying it's way too fucking hot. Ginger is absolutely right. I'm sweating my balls off. My fucking dick is just dripping sweat, and it's a nasty thing.
If you ever go by my store, the soup of the day is ball sweat.
I'm so happy.
Salted to your pleasure.
At least it's not snowing, though.
Freshly brewed every hour.
Every hour. Mine's every 15 minutes, my friend. That fresh.
Well, we only got like 3 guys on at a time, so it takes a while to build up the pot.
Really, it's just me on the pot at the time.
Well, we tend to stay away from the grill.
Me and Zorn are going to get head socks very soon, as we work in a roughly very hot environment.
I'm
Yep.
sorry I do that.
I go to the mines.
I actually just watch him and clap for him, but it's still sweaty.
You can do it, Zorn. I hate you.
That's exactly what happens. I put him to work.
Yep.
Anyway, I am Merc.
I'm Zorn.
I'm the SLB.
Ginger.
Fuck everyone.
Shit, he is naked.